is true success in life, when you become part of somebody else's testimony. I want to talk to you about taking your business and your life to the next level. Success in business and success in life is greatly dependent upon our ability to influence others in a positive way.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Ability to Influence, and I am so excited about today's guest, Eddie Villa. Eddie is an amazing entrepreneur, aspiring author, and he's a coach. He's a huge digital influencer, and I'm just excited because I've had the opportunity to work with Eddie for a little while now, and we've been working together on Eddie's book. And he has such a phenomenal story and life experience. And we're going to dig a little bit into that today. We won't get too deep into it because we want you guys to save some room to dig deeper as he comes out with his book here in the very near future. But Eddie, welcome, man. I'm so glad to have you here today, bro.
Well, it's an honor, Steve. And I just want to say this for all your listeners, if I can let them know one thing, and maybe they can all relate to this. I've been wanting to write a book for years. And I've talked to a few of my friends who have written books and asked them opinions. And I just would walk away feeling like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to find time. And I don't even know, there's so much I want to write about. What do I write about? What don't I write about? How do I put this together? And after just one call with you, like the one first little call that we had, I didn't even pay for it. I just said, hey, let's talk about what I want to do. I was so like, all of those fears got just wiped away in moments. I became so clear about what my book is going to look like, and I knew exactly how it was going to go, and I couldn't wait to get started. That is a powerful gift you have, my friend.
Well, thank you, bro.
Like, you unraveled so much pain and frustration that I was going through for the last 5 years because I knew I had something I had to say, but I didn't know how to format it, and I knew it had to be a book, and I'm just super grateful to you.
Well, man, it's going to be... Well, thank you for that, dude. It's going to be an awesome book, man. I can't wait for everybody to read it. So let's let everybody know a little bit, because obviously you're a big time digital influencer online, and you've had a lot of success. You and I met through a mutual friend of ours, Mark Harbert, who is another internet marketing guru and big time influencer. He's absolutely phenomenal. But we met through him and we connected, and as I got to learn more about you and what you were doing, and I was like, man, this guy is extremely successful. And then we started to dig into your story a little bit. And, you know, there's obviously always a story behind people's success. And you've got a great one, man. And I know it resonates and will resonate with a lot of people, because there's a lot of people right now I know out there that are, especially with everything that we're going through right now, that are sitting back and they're going, oh my gosh, what now? Like, is this where I'm supposed to be headed? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I gonna dedicate the rest of my life to this, whatever it is? So I know there's a lot of people out there questioning right now their direction and where are they headed next. And I know that you reached a point in your life and in your story where you knew a change needed to take place. So tell everybody a little bit about you, where you're from, and kind of how you got to this level that you're at right now.
Awesome. Why? The best way I can describe who I am is I can kind of tell you all who I am. That has nothing to do with my race, my gender, or how many kids I have. I've got lots of children. I've got 7 of them, you know, and I've been married for 18 years. But I don't really feel like that's me. What's really who I am and what I've always been, that I've always tried to, you know, push away or reject or feel like was not enough, is this desire to move people forward. I've had it my whole life and never quite understood it. I always felt like maybe I doubted myself, and that's why I was so focused on trying to help other people move forward. But what I realized, it was a superpower. The desire to move people forward is huge for me. And then secondarily, it's to think and learn and create and use my mind. I love to study and I love to gather information and prove myself from the inside out. And I like using information to help other people as well. So those two things, this desire to move people forward and help people move past blocks, because I needed that for myself. So that's basically who I am. And I do that in many different ways. And so when it, my story is, I think, very common, to be honest. So many people like myself gone through life where we focus on the needs of other people because we were told that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Don't be selfish, just focus on the needs of others and you will get what you want.
Right.
Like even Gandhi said it, like the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Now, I believe I totally believe that's true, but so many of us misconstrue those messages, and I was one of them. Yeah. And I spent my whole life trying to please other people. If it wasn't my parents, if it wasn't my family, if it wasn't my friends, or if it wasn't my basketball coaches, then it was like my employers or the companies that I would work for. And every time I would try to help other people, I would like morph myself or try to morph myself into something that I thought would be valuable for them. And none of these personalities that I would morph myself into were actually who I was.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we kind of come to a point at some point in our lives when we realize, wow, I don't know who I am. And I certainly don't know what I want. Like, for example, if I were to ask people that question, what do you want? Like, what do you want from life? You're here, you've got one shot. What do you really want from life? And that's like the hardest freaking question to answer.
Yeah.
And the harder that question is to answer, the more of what I learned was more of a sign that we've spent too much time worrying about the needs of others, when the truth is we don't even know what people want.
Yeah.
Because we don't even know what we want. How could we
Right.
possibly know what other people want? And
Wow,
it's a trap.
Profound. That's profound. So I mean, and you were killing it. Like you were out in California,
Yeah.
You were working for a huge property management company. You had worked your way up that corporate ladder. Like you were one of their top guys.
I got good at knowing finding out what they want and just morphing myself into that.
What they wanted. And then you came to a point where you realized that you were giving more to them than you were to your family, to yourself. And you came to a crossroads, man, one morning on your way to work, right?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. It's weird. It's like a weird thing. There was this patch of grass, and I've talked about this a lot, but I think people are going to find this interesting. I was in property management, and one of the benefits of being property managing, you get a deal for living on the property that you're managing, right? And so it was nice. Got a little cut in my commute time. I would just walk from my office to my apartment. Sounds like a great thing. It turned out to be a bad thing because it's like work. I'm always at work, right? But anyway, there was this little patch of grass that I would walk over every single day. And it was like in California, man, grass has always got to be beautiful or else you're going to be in a lot of trouble. But I would walk over this patch of grass every single day, never noticing it. You know what I mean? It's like we go through life every day, not noticing these little details, not smelling the roses, if you will.
Right.
And I remember this little patch of grass as this like middle ground between my home, right, where I had all these people who I was trying to make happy, and then my office, where I had all these other people who were totally different, who had completely different agendas, make them happy. And I was in that patch of grass. As I would walk over it, I would look at it and I would start to have this like feeling like that's where I wanted to be, that patch of grass, because there was so many expectations put on me by my own self at home,
right,
to be something that I wasn't. And then there was so much pressure to be something I wasn't at work. And it was like, how do I do this? How do I be this person at work and then just like transform myself to be something different right when I get home?
Right.
And that patch of grass became this like weird little safe zone.
Yeah.
You know, like I kind of like had this vision of, would it be nice if there was just a little bench and I could just sit here and I can just take my shoes off and put my feet in the grass and just not have any of those expectations and just be right here.
Right. So, so check this out. Okay. So something major and extraordinary happened one morning on that patch of grass. And guess what? We're not going to tell them what happened that morning on that patch of grass. They're going to have to wait until the book comes out. But it literally sent your life in a trajectory. It sent you on an emotional journey that would help you come to find what true freedom really, really was. And when you did, and obviously it was a painful road to get there, but once you got to that place, you know, it changed everything. What would you tell everybody was one of the key factors that got you from, okay, I have this epiphany, I'm going through this struggle, here's the shift. The shift took place. There was something that happened that really, really created a shift that took you from, am I good enough? What am I doing with my life? To, I'm going to go set the world, you know, ablaze. What was that shift?
You know what, that shift is what I would tell everybody this. It was just awareness of what was going on. It was becoming aware of the fact that that patch of grass was where I would rather be right now. And then there was this awareness that if I literally just sat there, took my shoes off, put my feet in the grass, what would happen if I did that? I had this fear that my family would wander and see me and wonder, like, Dad, you've been at work all day. Why aren't you with us? And then I had this fear of, what if my employees saw me sitting in that patch of grass, not working, just putting my feet in that grass? And so then I realized that as bad as I wanted to be in that patch of grass, I couldn't, because somebody on this side or that side would see me.
Wow.
And I'm like, and I just started to hyperventilate. I started to feel like I want to curse right now. It's so bad, but it's like I'm freaking trapped. I can't even be right here where I want to be because I'm worried that other people are going to have judgments about it. And since I'm so worried about what other people think and feel or need from me, like I can't even be just where I want to be right now. That awareness, that little click is what made me realize I've got two options. I can live like this for the rest of my life, or I can have to do something to change this. Right. I didn't even know what I was going to do. I just knew something had to change or I was going to die. I knew that if I just kept going this way, my body would eventually shut down. I had a grandfather and a brother and my father. They all passed away at a very young age due to heart disease. And I started to worry about how this lifestyle would have an effect on me physically. Even though I was young and, you know, and all those things, I'm like, still you start to think about these things. Right. So it was that awareness of where I am and what's really going on. Right. You know, I got blue pilled, if you will.
Now, obviously the awareness creates the shift, but you know, you have the awareness, but what do you do, bro? You know, like, even though you have the awareness, hey, this is not where I need to be and something's got to change. You know, it wasn't until way later on though, right? That you, and I believe it was a mentor that actually stepped in and really kind of got you laser focused on direction. How important was that mentor, and how important do you think mentorship is for people that are trying to find their way right now?
I'm glad you brought that up, because so what I really want to go to is this, that I have rejected the idea of anybody helping me. I thought that I was supposed to do this all by myself. And when I was in, like, this would be many years later, where a man would speak so powerfully, but it wasn't like he was challenging me or getting in my face or anything like that. He just spoke so clearly, and he called it a powerful inner stance. Yeah. Right? Like, if you've ever played football or basketball, you know what powerful inner stance means, that you take a stance and nobody could rock you off that stance. Yeah. Like mine, I knew it. When he said, you know, have a powerful inner stance and speak with certainty, I knew I had a weak one. And here was a man who had what I wanted. And I started to, for the first time in my life, I started to get clear about what I wanted, because I saw it exemplified in another human being. And he challenged me by asking me, what do I want? And when he saw I didn't know how to answer the question, he knew, and I knew, that I needed what he had. Right. And so I just said, forget all the stories I've been telling myself about how men are supposed to take care of the family and all this other business and do it on our own. And I just kind of gave up that. And I said, I'm going to listen to you, put that, your energy, your style, everything that you did to overcome your stuff, put that into me. And you know, Eddie, so it was huge.
Yeah, it is huge. And you know, what's crazy is, as men, you know, we normally, most men take that approach, you know, I'm going to figure this out, you know, and it's funny. I always tell people, most of my coaching clients are women. And the reason most of my coaching clients are women is because women don't have a problem saying, hey, I need help. It's the men that will come to the events and they'll write down notes and stuff like that, but they'll never take an opportunity to do any kind of private coaching because they're going to go figure it out on their own. Right. And I'll tell you, it was when I reached out and I finally let go of that pride and said, hey, I need some help. I need some guidance. I need a coach. I need a mentor, that somebody was able to step in and point out the things to me, bro, that I couldn't see, just like your mentor did with you. So I think it's huge. So for all of our guys out there listening to us right now, take it from two fellas that have had some success because we let our pride and let our guards down and asked another person to help us and give us some direction.
That's the secret. That is the freaking secret. As soon as I let that down and say, hey, you know how to do something, teach me what you know, and I'll learn it and I'll apply it or whatever, and I'll be in full gratitude like I was at the beginning of this call. It's like, that's what coaches are for.
Right.
And like, for me, I love coaching other people so much, because in some ways it's like helping that Eddie that needed it so long ago,
right,
over and over and over again. And I just can't wait until like my next coach, like when you and I are done writing this amazing book, what do we do next? And
right.
What other coaches can and it's like, I'm so happy because I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have to come up with this all by myself anymore. And I get to get the benefits of success.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Man. Like, why wouldn't I do that anymore?
That's right. So Eddie, speaking of coaching, I know that you do a lot of work with people on the strengths. Talk a little bit about that and what exactly you do with people to help them go from one place to another, to help them become more successful. What do you do?
Brilliant. And this actually kind of ties into why so many people don't like coaching is, so for me, so I got introduced to, I'm going to try, this is a long story, but I'm going to try to get to it in like a minute. I was introduced to a company called Gallup. And Gallup, everybody knows, is the poll people, right? They know how to poll millions of people. I'd love an email list that big. But they came up with this program about 26 years ago from a guy named Don Clifton. And Don Clifton's thing was, he was tired about how the education and the employment system in our country was all about helping people develop weaknesses. This is why I believe a lot of people don't want to go to coaches, because the last thing they want a coach to do is to talk to them about how there's something wrong with them, and how here's where your weaknesses are. Because who wants that? I don't. And so what he wanted to know is, how do we learn what our strengths are so we can go all in with those and let go of ever having to develop weaknesses? What a crazy, I was like, I want to know everything. Because the thing I hate about personality tests is that they group you, Yeah. They put you in like Enneagram 7 people and the blue squiggle people or whatever, Myers-Briggs things or whatever. What the Gallup Strengths Assessment does is it shows how I am infinitely unique and cannot be duplicated. Just like you, just like everybody that's listening to this, we are all infinitely unique. There is some combination in our strengths that shows that we are something that's never happened, nor ever will happen again. In fact, when you take the assessment, you get your strengths from 1 through 34. That combination, the chances of another person having that combination is more than 1 in 130 billion.
Wow.
The estimation is that by the year 2050, that's how many people will have come into this planet. Since the beginning of time, 130 billion people. And the chances of anybody having that same combination is more than that, which means that we're different. So what I do is I teach people how to use those unique combinations, the thing that is different than anybody else in the world, and be more influential with it, be more creative, more productive, and connect with the right people in our lives, the ones that we want to be connected with, and in a way that grows businesses, improves marriages, relationships, health, spirituality, belief in ourselves, everything. And so when I'm coaching people, I'm not telling them how to do it my way, because that's the worst thing that they can do.
Right.
I want them to learn how to do it their way.
Nice.
Right. That's what I coach.
Now you're doing a lot of virtual coaching, obviously doing it online. Is it a group situation? How do people get engaged in one of your upcoming coaching classes?
Awesome. Great question. So I've got stuff all over. The best place to get a hold of me is Facebook. Obviously, I'm very active on there. I've got a website called, it's eddiepvia.com. If you go there, you can actually get a little bit of basic information and be able to follow some of the things I'm doing. The first thing I would always recommend people is to start listening to my podcast. It's Unleash Your Strengths is the name of the podcast. I took a little bit of break about a month ago because ultimately I wanted to kind of rebrand it a bit, make it a little bit more interactive with other people. But I've got about 130 episodes in there. I've had a little over 150,000 downloads in about 8 to 10 months. It's just been a very powerful thing for me because what I'm trying to do is help people in the world believe in themselves.
That's cool.
That's like the thing that fires me up. So the podcast, Facebook, find me on there. I'm always doing something online for free and giving out great tools. If you have taken the Gallup Strengths Assessment, I highly recommend you go to my website and take the 7-day Strengths Challenge. It's pretty awesome. It's free. You just go down there and learn how to apply your strengths in a way that's a little different than typical people in Gallup teach. One of my strengths, and I'll end on this, is competition. It's my number 8 of my top 10 strengths.
Yeah.
And with people of high competition, I'm going to bet you probably have it too, but people of high competition love to look at what other people are doing and use it as benchmarks to improve ourselves.
Yeah.
So we like it when the people around us rise. And it's almost like we push people to rise so that we have more to rise ourselves. You know what I mean? So one thing I loved about when I would hear about Kobe Bryant and how competitive he was, he loved to take people down and then tell them to stand up, rise back up, because I need to take you down again. You know what I mean?
So like, speaking of competition and speaking of basketball, bro, I think this is crazy, right? So this is a fun fact about you. You were a basketball player.
Yeah.
So tell you.
I played in college. I played a couple years in college, junior college, because I didn't have the grades to go to the big universities and whatnot. So I got to play with a bunch of other guys. So people can't hear me. I'm 6'7", and I'm also Mexican, and I grew up in a little town where nobody was 6 foot anything. So, and so I was the one that everyone thought would go and play professional basketball in some way, shape, or form. So I played a couple of years in college, and man, I loved it because in junior college is like one of the coolest places to play basketball because you play with the most talented people on the planet.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't have anything going on upstairs, which is why they're, just like me. I was an idiot. I didn't really pay attention in school. I just played basketball all the time. I just got enough grades to be able to play. That was it. So I played with a bunch of these guys that were just unbelievable, the things they would do on the basketball court. And I got exposed to so many great, talented people. And I love that time in my life. That was good stuff.
It's funny, man, because obviously you're in California and I'm in Tampa. So we've been doing all of our coaching sessions for your book via Zoom, obviously.
Yeah.
And it was funny because it was about 3 coaching sessions in that you told me that you were 6'7", and I'm going, wait a second. I've been looking at you in all of these coaching sessions, and I'm thinking this guy is 5 inches taller than me. Like he would be towering over me if we were standing in front of each other. So that's so awesome, man. That was a fun fact that just blew me away about you, bro. 6'7", and your wife is tall.
Yeah, she's 6'4".
Yeah, because I was looking at a video of you guys on Facebook the other day, one of your TikTok videos, and she's she's not much shorter than you, bro.
Well, and she's way more impressive than me. She's incredible. She was 6'4" at 13.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? Like, okay, imagine you're a high school coach and you see this girl who is 6'4" at 13, and her brother, people are probably basketball friends. Her brother is Chris Burgess. So my wife, Angela, is her maiden name is Burgess, Angela Burgess. Her brother is Chris Burgess, who used to play for Duke. He played for the University of Utah, and there was a big controversy with Chris in the back. But anyway, my point is that her younger brother already had a reputation for being a really good ball player. So this whole family's all basketball players. Her parents are tall and such, which is kind of cool because my parents are all short. Like I'm the only tall one in my whole family. The tallest one in my family besides me was my grandfather, and he was 6'3". Everybody else is like 5'8" to 5'10", maybe 6 feet, and that's it. And then here's me at 6'7". So that
That's
was one of the
crazy.
things that my wife liked about me, was that I was tall. It was part of her
So,
rule.
so 7 kids, are they all tall or what?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are. All of them
I-
are tall. And I love it. Like when I'll take them to school and I can see like my daughter Sutton, who's one of my, I have 6 daughters and 1 boy. And Sutton,
never give up. Was the boy the last one?
he's the second to last.
Oh, he was saying, okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
and we thought we could
I got
do it
3 girls and the last one was a boy. So it was like,
Alright.
never give up. That's my motto, right?
again. I did. So we had a boy, and I was like, let's try that again. And then we had a girl. Like, okay, we're done. We're
Bro,
done.
4 is nuts, dude. 7, I can't even imagine. Like that's crazy.
I'll be honest, it's not that different between, once you have 4, you're just numb.
Yeah, yeah.
So you might as well have 10. It really doesn't feel different.
No way, dude. No way. After 4, I was like, stop, make it quit. I don't want this to ever happen again. Anyways, well, listen, man, I love you, bro. You're absolutely amazing. And I hope that everybody that watches this will obviously go and connect with you, engage with you. Go take that strength test, guys, because it will open a lot of doors for you once you come to these realizations about who you are, what you bring to the table, and you start to use those gifts that you have to make your way through this world and to go and fulfill that purpose, whatever that purpose is that you have. And I know that Eddie's a phenomenal coach, and I know that he'll lead you in the right direction in helping you figure that out. So Eddie, I'm going to close out with one question for you. Obviously, this is the ability to influence in your expertise, in your vast knowledge, and working with people from all walks of life. What would you tell everybody is one of the major key components if they want to have the ability to influence other people in a positive way?
So a major component to help people become coaches, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, or to influence people in a positive way.
Influence other people,
Whether they're
yeah.
a coach or not, they could just be an entrepreneur out there right now.
Yeah.
What is that one trait, that one key component that they must have if they want to go out there and be that person?
This is huge, and it's the hardest thing for people to swallow, but it's so true. It's embracing your failures and using them to teach other people what you earned, the knowledge that you paid the price for. So what I would tell people is to think of all the most horrible things, all the bad decisions, all the worst things that have happened to you, even trauma, right? And stop taking ownership for what happened to you as if you wished that upon yourself or other people, and instead see the lessons that it provided for you and teach those lessons because you earned them. You bled for those. You suffered, you sacrificed, you got knocked down. You know what I mean? Like you literally, a knife got torn into your heart and you bled for that knowledge.
Yeah.
And so you teach that knowledge, you teach those lessons that you take away from those powerful experiences, and you use them to help other people. So that you can tell people, I didn't learn this crap in some school. I went out in the world and I paid the price to learn this so that you can benefit from it.
That's right.
Like if you could do that, you become bulletproof.
That's awesome, bro.
Absolutely bulletproof. There's nothing that could ever happen to you that would ever stop you because you're just saying to yourself, you know what? Bring on all the pain because I'm just going to use it to help more people.
I love it.
I'm ready. Like for me, I'm finally at that place in my life where I'm like, there's nothing that could possibly happen that I won't figure out how to use to help other people.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps me going. Every time something happens, I'm just like, I'm going to use this.
Well, it was huge for me, man. I know your story. I know it was huge for you. The moment that we began to get real and to get authentic and to share our failures, what does is it drops the guards for everybody else to say, hey, listen, if they can go through that and they can still go do their thing, then I can too, so it's huge, bro. It is absolutely huge.
There's no problem that we could ever have that someone else hasn't at some point had.
Yeah.
Our problems are common, man. They are common.
Yep.
Who we are is infinitely unique. And so many people make the mistake of switching those, thinking that who we are is common and our problems are unique.
Oh, wow.
With that, we get the truth. You see that feeling you just had?
Yeah.
That's the feeling I had when I discovered that that's truth feeling your body.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So if that's truth, what do you want to do with that? I want to do this. I want to find people who have my problems and show them how I've found my own unique angle on it.
Yeah.
So that they can get value from me. Boom.
Boom.
Done.
Ooh. All right. We're going to end on that. Guys, go connect with this dude. As you've already seen, he is absolutely phenomenal. I'm glad to be doing stuff with this guy, and you should go do some stuff with this guy as well. Eddie, thank you so much, bro. God bless you, man. I appreciate you so much. And guys, thank you for your time. Thanks for tuning in. Time is one of those things that you can never replace, and you gave some of that precious time to us today, and we thank you for it. God bless, and we'll see you guys soon.
That is true success in life, when you become part of somebody else's testimony. I want to talk to you about taking your business and your life to the next level. Success in business and success in life is greatly dependent upon our ability to influence others in a positive way.